There are two different types of seniority. You have company seniority and base seniority. Company seniority is your position relative to every other flight attendant in your company. And then base seniority is your position relative to everyone in your base city. Hear me out. The better the seniority, the better the bid. The better the bid, the better schedule you're going to have. The better schedule you're going to have is the better quality of life you'll have. Hence, seniority rule! Hey everyone, my name is Lindsay and I am a flight attendant, and today we are talking about flight attendant interview tips. I did this video about 3 years ago, but since we're doing this series on becoming a flight attendant, this is a must-talk topic. And I know there are so many other YouTube videos out there, which is really good. The more information, the better. But since this is a part of being a flight attendant series, it has to be talked about. Airlines have so many different types of interviews. They have a phone interview, a web interview, a face-to-face interview, a group interview, a one-on-one interview. Any of these interviews could happen with the airline that you are applying for, and maybe they could not. So with me, when I went through my interview process, I just did a group interview and then a one-on-one interview, and I did not do the phone interview, the web interview, or anything like that. I just did the group interview and then a one-on-one interview. Now sometimes there are cattle calls, that's something different, but there are so many types of different interviews when it comes to the airlines. So a few of my different tips, I've talked to a few different people throughout the last couple of weeks that work for other airlines, and they gave me some of the advice that they went through with their interview processes. So I'm going to share some of those with you right now. If you have a video interview, such as a webcam video interview, make sure you are aware of your surrounding background. You want to make sure you're just in front of a plain background. You don't want clutter in the background. You don't want your dogs, your kids, your cats, birds, whatever, flying around, hanging out in the background, because A, that's distracting to the interviewer when they are looking at the video, when they go back and look at the video interview. Also, it's just a mess, and you don't want to be a mess. You want to be very professional. So if I was doing an interview, I would probably pick this background just because it's not anything really in the background, or I would just sit in a plain white wall. So that's my tip, just be aware of your surroundings. Not a lot of people have talked about this when I was researching it, but definitely clean up your social medias. What I mean by that is if your Instagram is open to the world, make sure it's private. If you have Facebook photos or any types of things that you don't really want people to see, like statuses, politics statuses, just things that aren't really good to talk about in, you know, a personal or in a professional setting, I would just take all of that stuff down, just because it is very common that companies do look into social medias. And with airlines have a strict social media policy. So you want to make sure that you just clean up your social medias before you go into an interview, or before you actually even apply, because you never know, they might look into it, they might not. So just clean up your social media accounts. If you are getting a face-to-face interview and you don't live in the city and the airline did not prepay for your ticket there and back, make sure you do fly or drive, if you are close, to the city the night before. You want to be well rested the night before your interview. You want to make sure you are completely prepared for this interview. It is very important. This is your livelihood. This is your career that you're looking at. So you want to make sure you get there the night before, check into your hotel, get a nice sleep, make sure you do like a face mask or just something calming on your skin so that you are well rested for the morning time. Because if you take a flight or drive in the day of your interview, there could be cancellations on flights, there could be diversions, there could be delays, and then you'll miss your interview. Same with driving. Weather is so unpredictable. Like, we just had a snowstorm here in Minneapolis last night and it was horrible. They told you not even to step outside of your house if you didn't have to. So that's another thing. Like, if I had an interview today, I would have drove last night or yesterday afternoon for my interview, just so that I could be prepared in that aspect of the interview. You want to make sure that you are always on. You want to smile until your cheeks hurt. You want to make sure that you are prepared and that you are smiling and that you are happy, but you want to be yourself. So bring yourself out into that. If you're uncomfortable with like smiling all the time or being on, practice in the mirror, practice in front of somebody, practice in front of a camera. You always want to be on when it comes to flight attendant interviews. If they see Miss Debbie Downer over here, they're not gonna hire you and they're gonna throw you into the do not hire pile. As harsh as that sounds, it's true. So you wanna make sure that you are always on, but you are yourself. So with those tips, I did ask a few of my flight attendant friends for some tips so that it wasn't just me talking and it would mix this up a little bit. So we are going to watch those right now.
Okay guys, think of a time when you went out of your way to help someone. You just went above and beyond to get, you know, something accomplished or get the job done. A lot of times interviewers are going to want to know that because they want to know that when you get to the workplace where you're applying to, that you're going to go above and beyond to get the job done there.
Okay, so my biggest group interview tip would be to pay attention to the question. Don't go outside of the question, answer the question exactly how they asked it.
So my interview tip is when you are doing the group interview and let's say you have to use the restroom or you're with some friends that you made in the group interview, don't talk about anything in the group interview. My friends told me that when they were in the group interview, they would talk about like, oh, what did you think about this? What did you think about that? And then there was an interviewer actually in the restroom and they sent them all home because they were talking about the interview. So keep your lips sealed, but be friendly.
Things to bring, make sure to bring a pen, some paper maybe to write things down, bring all your documents, resumes, your past work history for the last 10 years. It's required by the FAA when you're filling out the application. Bring, you know, passport, identification, all those things. Make sure to have it all with you because if you are hired, they're going to want that information as quick as possible.
So for the one-on-one interview, make sure you dress properly first of all. Make sure you go in there confident. Just be yourself. Don't make up stories. Don't tell lies. Just be you. Tell the truth. Give your best experience possible. And don't answer generic questions. Just like if they say, what is something that's hard for you? Don't say, it was hard for me to fail, because they're going to look at you like you're crazy.
So, when you go to your interview, make sure that you dress, I know that Joanna had already talked professionally, but dress that you want the part. So, wear a string of pearls, wear a scarf, wear a white shirt with a black blazer, black suit pants or a suit skirt. Make sure you have pantyhose on that aren't ripped like mine right now. Make sure you are wearing proper closed-toed heels, not flats. They don't want to see flats. And makeup according to your presence. Not everyone looks good in red lipstick. I know a lot of people are telling people to wear red lipstick, but if you're not confident in red lipstick, then don't wear red lipstick. Wear a nice nude or a pink or whatever you feel comfortable in. Just because other people are saying to wear red, you don't need to wear red. Take that from me. Red lipstick is not going to get you the job. You're going to get yourself the job. I hope this video helped you in preparing for your interview, and if you are thinking of being a flight attendant, some tips before you do go into the interview process as well. I hope that you also just enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and also I've been hearing that YouTube has been unsubscribing people, so make sure you do actually hit the bell so you are notified when I do post a video. I do post on Sundays and Wednesdays for vlogs and Tuesdays for Becoming a Flight Attendant series, and sometimes I just post a random video here and there. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! I hope this
My tip in a group interview would be to make sure that you say
So this is what you must do. On your phone interview, make sure you have energy. Say it with me.
If they ask you a question,
And guys, remember box. Leave all your stripper heels at the house. She don't want to see those. Okay?